last month. Hopefully he comes today too. And he shared a really cool animation video that he made that I thought looked fabulous. So just wondering for you guys to share with us, what are some of those visual things for you that are your favorites, whether it's a purchase, whether it's a custom creation that you made, or if you took a purchase and customized it. So wanted to open us up to talk about that. And I also wanted to remind you all that we have, I don't know if you heard the announcement about the content launchpad that Ecamm is offering. Give me a nod if you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. And some of you do not. So I want to share this super cool thing. Just when I thought Ecamm could not be more awesome, the company goes and decides to do something like this. So it's called Content Launchpad. And what it is winning a year's worth of Ecamm support to make your podcast successful. So Ecamm will get behind you in terms of all the resources, whether it's technical, whether it's marketing, whether it's coaching, whatever you need to be successful in your video podcast, they are going to help you do that. The applications are due at the end of this month. And one limitation is that it is for residents of the United States, except for people in Rhode Island because of the rules in Rhode Island. So as long as it's a state other than Rhode Island, and also the channel does not have to be in English, or the content does not have to be in English. It can be in another language, but of course you're filling out that application in English. So I'm going to drop the link to the application in our Zoom chat right now, but it is ecamm.com/launchpad, which makes it super easy. And you go through the application process, and I just think, they're going to help you with full show promotion, branding and design, marketing, show support, tech support. And you also get Ecamm Live Pro for free for 1 year included in the winnings of that. So I just think, oh my gosh, this is such a great opportunity. And I wanted to have you guys consider doing that. So I'm going to put this on here so that we can see in the recording as well what that link is. ecamm.com/launchpad. So think about it. You have a few more days to decide, just under 2 weeks to apply. But I just thought, what a great opportunity.
Too bad it's not for Sweden.
I know. That's what I was like, bummer. I know you're not in the US, Dick. I just was like, and I'm fairly certain that is what they said, right? Those of you that listened as well, that it is a US only. Just want to make sure I didn't say that incorrectly.
Sure, yeah.
So, and then the one other thing I'll mention that I did hear them say specifically, there will be a panel of judges making the decisions on all that, but they will also, let's see, the judges are going to be Ken and Glenn, Katie, Caleb, Doc, Paul Duncan, Marshall, Anna Fulgens, and Luis Vega, Mr. Camera Junkie. They will be the judges, and then they're gonna dwindle it down to like 10 finalists, and then the top 5 will move to round 3. And then those candidates will be interviewed on Ecamm's partner shows, and then the winner will be selected based on a rubric that they've set up. So sounds fairly organized, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I am going to apply myself. I'm going to go for it because I feel like I need, especially the marketing and promotion help with things. I feel like I have a good idea that's fleshed out, but I always seem to come up short when it comes to marketing and promotion. And honestly, I'm like, even if I don't win, even if I am not the winner, something good, I'm certain, will come out of it. And I will either learn something or grow in some way through this. So I'm also going to apply. You just don't know what can happen. But anyway.
I vote none of the rest of us apply, and we all get behind Tatiana.
No,
just all.
That is so sweet, though. Thank you. But, please definitely apply, right? If this is something that's of interest to you. I mean, I also feel like Ecamm is so generous that even those of us who, if we don't make it to the top prize, there will probably be some consolation prizes, that will still be 100% worth our time to be able to participate. So throwing that out there for your consideration. I think Les is trying to come in with a different
Yeah, but
account.
he's coming in. That's twice. So I just want to make sure.
Let's see. Les, can you hear us?
He's still connecting to audio.
Yeah, I see that.
Audio is a thing. It's the first time I had with Ecamm, I was in like a meeting like this, and it was on, and I could not find the audio. And there, you can look in many spaces. It can be your own computer, it can be in Ecamm, it can be in Zoom.
Yeah, audio issues have been a really big issue. I did a live stream with Ana Gil on Friday. We did Ecamm in Spanish, Ecamm en Español. And everybody who was listening was saying that her mic volume sounded so much louder than mine. Even though and we were not in Ecamm for Zoom, I was connected to her Ecamm interview through Chrome. And her audio levels for guest interview, which would be my audio, was at 100. The level was, mine was at the highest also. The one thing I did have was I had in Ecamm sound levels, echo cancellation was turned on. And Daniel, I put it in Discord to say, what could have been wrong here? And he said, I probably should have turned echo cancellation off. So we did a test on Sunday. Anna and I just recreated the same exact environment. And I didn't have echo cancellation turned on. And it seemed like it was better. When I listened back to that recording, it did not sound as low as it did when we did it live on Friday. So just something for you all to be aware of as well.
Tatiana, but when you went to test this, when you first got on the test, was it the same? It was still low the way it had been in the show before you made any changes?
I removed echo cancellation before Sunday's
Okay,
do-over.
Gotcha.
And it was fine. What I did during the live was turn it on to see if it make any difference. And it didn't. It didn't really change. What did change is me changing my mic source from Ecamm Virtual Mic to Shure directly. That actually increased the volume on the receiving end. But of course, that means that if I play any sound effects, if I play anything, nobody would hear it because it's just direct microphone connection into her Ecamm interview. So, but I was like, but that did get louder. So the takeaway for me is to make sure that my echo cancellation is not turned on in Ecamm. And of course, I always wear headphones and in-ear monitor, so it won't ever be a problem. If I don't wear the headphones, then that echo would be an issue if I play a sound.
Silly question. Had you restarted your machine at any point along this journey?
Not on Friday, but I did before Sunday.
Gotcha.
As well. And so that was the other thing. I did restart the machine on Sunday.
People make fun of that fix, but I'm telling you,
it fixes a lot of
9 times out of 10, if you just give everything a clean restart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel you with the audio issues. It can be such a pain. Even today, when I hopped on for our call today, and when I look at where I'm using Ecamm for Zoom integration, not standalone Zoom, and I go to my audio settings, and my input volume for my mic was low. It just does that automatically. So I actually had to go in and increase it all the way up. So hopefully I don't sound low to anybody as you guys are hearing me today. But it tends to be a pattern where people are like, your volume sounds low.
Go ahead and I've got meters up. So go
good.
ahead and you can see my meters. I just to restart them; they weren't working. But so
actually,
you can see where you want to be, and the goal is usually like between 20 and 24, somewhere around there.
I actually wanted to ask you, what would be a way that I could have measured my audio level? So I see that you have something on screen right now. Is that something that we would be able to access as well when we need to? Like, what is my audio level? I have no idea.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can. This is a tool called WLM meters. It's from Waves. Waves, I guess it stands for Waves Loudness Meter, I guess, WLM. It's a little wonky to set up. You actually download it as a plugin into Audio Hijack. And then what I basically do is I just route all of my audio through Audio Hijack so that it comes in here so that I can get these. If you need a quick, and you don't want to go through all this, if those of you who may be familiar with officehours.global, we have a persistent meeting, a Zoom meeting that is open 24 hours a day, and there are always meters in that meeting. You can just pop in, unmute, start talking, check your levels, and just say, hey, I'm here to check my levels, and you can check them and then jump back out. So
That's good to know. Do you know what the link is to that we
yeah, so if you go to, I'll throw it in the chat here, it's officehours.global. You do have to sign up just because they're very strict about, we don't want bots in there, we don't want fake people, it's a clean, safe space. So if you just sign up there, you'll get access. The 24-hour meeting is called After Hours. And yeah, it's just kind of always there for you if you need. Say, look at that, see, my meter's just crashed again. What the heck's going on? I also, you know what it might be? Yesterday I updated all of my computers. I'm such an idiot to Sequoia.
Okay.
So that may be it.
I'm gonna pop this in. This is my screen share. I'm gonna share.
Hey, Les. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thanks.
Good.
Good to see
We
you,
didn't say
Les.
hi to people yet. Darren, how you doing?
Doing quite well. How about yourself?
Good.
All right.
All right, so we'll close this up. This is the website, officehours.global. And then if we wanted to join that, where should we go, David?
I don't know. Hold on. I gotta pull it up here. Officehours.global. There should be a join us tab right at the top. Yeah, there's a join us button.
Okay, so
And
join
then once
us
you get
right.
that, yeah, and
Yep,
you'll get
right on the top.
Yep, and you'll get an email with links to After Hours. You get information about the shows that we do each day, all that other good stuff.
Oh, okay. So there is no direct way to go and be in the test Zoom for the audio
Well,
levels.
once you sign up, you'll get the link, and then you can just join it whenever you want.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's because I go there so often. It's one of the, it's persistently in Ecamm, one of the ones that shows up in the memory of Ecamm. So you can just pop it, or you just save the URL somewhere.
Well, that's really good to know because it happens to all of us where we don't have people available to come and join us. So if you guys want to save this, officehours.global, you click on join us, fill out the information, and then you can join this test Zoom meeting that Office Hours shares 24/7, which is really great.
And the
pretty
other
awesome.
one, the other link that you all might want to know about is, which I think we talked about last time. Yeah, it's also hosted by Office Hours, but officehours.global/Zoom test. That's the one that has these these aren't fake. That's the real people. But it has a persistent meeting with fake AI people in it, so that you can, if you want to, build scenes in Ecamm and you need guests to fill those scenes. If you go to officehours.global/Zoom test,
That is so great.
that'll pop you into that meeting. The only caveat to that is that your capture mode has to be recording, not live streaming. Just for that meeting, you can change it back right away. But for that meeting, it will only work if you're in recording mode, because what happens is they have a system set up so that as soon as you enter, you're given permission to record. You don't need, usually you need the host to give authorization, but they have it so that as long as you're in recording mode, it'll just give you permission. So those are two nice, I just held up 3 fingers for 2 things. Those are 2 nice resources.
Really
if
good.
it's helpful. Yeah.
Thanks, David. Yeah, so I posted that up here too, so you can see it on screen as well as in the chat, which is fabulous. And just to reiterate, when we're inside of Ecamm, across our top menu there, we see whether or not we're in streaming or recording mode. And so you want to make sure that streaming is not enabled and
No,
we're
no, no, no,
specifically
no,
in
no, no,
recording.
no. That's different. That's
Okay.
the stream or record up at the top there. That's what do you want to export? Or how are you sending whatever you're making out? What I'm talking about is if you go into your preferences, and you go into the Zoom tab of your preferences, you have a Zoom capture mode here. And that you can change. It's by default, it's set to live streaming because that's the one that makes the most sense. But in this one case, if you want to play here in this little playground, in this little sandbox, you just change that to recording. That's all.
Okay.
And you can
Gotcha.
toggle back and forth. It doesn't hurt at all.
Okay, great. I'm glad
Sorry
we
about that.
clarified. Yeah, that's good. No, that's really good because then it's helpful if you guys ever want to hop in a Zoom and just test around. That is an awesome feature to have available anytime you need it. Really, really helpful. Okay, awesome. Really great. So, would anybody like to share some of the visual stuff? I know, Darren, we talked a bit with you last time because you had fully changed your studio environment, right? You went full upgrade, which looks so good. But
Yeah.
today,
It's
do you guys
show
want
and
to
tell
share?
time.
Exactly. Show and tell. And again, whether you created it, whether you bought it and then customized it, or you have a cool video. I mean, anything that's visual that you wanted to share today would be so awesome to see what everybody's working on.
Anyone have something? I mean, I can share something, but it's not very exciting.
Kick us off, David. Go for it.
Oh, wait. Who just said so? Was that Darren?
Yes, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, no, you can't hide now, Darren. You said something. Now the teacher has picked on you.
That's why I should always leave the mic on mute. So I have one that drag some things around here. I have one that I created a while back. So I did a tutorial on, let me move some things off my screen here. I did a tutorial on using Handbrake. And so for those of you not familiar, it's a software that you can use, free software to use in order to compress audio and video. And so I did a walkthrough, and this was one of the first times where I combined a couple elements of the shadow effect in terms of the handbrake.fr, which is the URL. I had the border, but I changed the corners of the border a little bit, and I also provided the I forgot what the term is called here. Let me look it up real quick. Here is the gradient. So I have the orange.
Colors.
Right. The orange and blue gradient, even kind of playing around with where the blue and the orange would be, if part of it's on the left or the right or bottom or the top. And I also included the blue background, or a frame, I should say, border as well, because I didn't really like the traditional sort of square. I wanted to add a little pop to it. And then on the left-hand side, you can see I have my camera overlay in a different shape than the screen share. And this is to their live website. So that was using the web overlay because I want to emphasize the actual website and where to go and download the software, different versions available, and then minimize my presence in this particular scene. But yeah, this is kind of one of the ones I tried to combine a number of different things that it's okay, but it was the first one where I purposely tried to mix and match 2 or 3 different things that I had done on separate overlays before.
Hey, that's
I love that.
exciting.
That's fantastic, Darren.
Ooh,
Hey.
sorry guys, that was probably way too loud.
That's all right. You were giving him a ding dong, a little ding.
I was giving you a little ding. I didn't want it
got
to
a
be
ding.
that loud. try it again at a little softer.
Can I just, Darren, do you mind if can I jump in and bounce off of something that you just said? Is that okay?
Sure,
Or something you just shared? Because you brought it up for me. So this is not the same scene, obviously, but it's whatever. You get the idea. I brought up the same website that he has, and but I'm bringing my website in a little differently. But what you reminded me of is how important it is, and there isn't a great way to. There isn't a perfect way to do this, but how important it can be when you're, for example, showing a website like this website where the text is really, really tiny. Like this is not a Web 3.0 website, right? How important it is to be able to zoom in or, move things around or use those little circle things or whatever tools you choose to use. There's where's my mouse? There's this where you can draw kind of on your screen or just zoom in and out. But the reason you made me think of this, Darren, is because I'm teaching a class right now to a bunch of people training to be rabbis, and I'm teaching them about digital innovation and how to use this stuff. And they're always very quick to point out to me that when I share screens in this way, the way that you and I do it, that it's very, very hard to read. And that's because they just didn't give me the 2 seconds that I need to be able to just zoom in like that and show them around. So thank you for that reminder. It was important for me. Thanks.
And David, how are you zooming in? What do you use to zoom out?
So it's funny. So the way I'm bringing this in is I have 2 computers. One is my streaming or whatever, my video computer, and the other is my content computer. And so, and I just connect my content computer to the streaming computer just using a Ecamm link. So basically, this other computer just comes in as a camera source. And the way that I have it set up is that I have one screen here in front of me this one screen in front of me, I know that whatever's on this screen, that's what's going to be in my screen share. That's just the way I have it set up. So I don't have to worry about where things are on the screen or anything everything here is going into my screen share. So the way that I blow it up is, and this is it's so embarrassing. It's the only reason that I have a trackpad here. I could use the one on the Mac, but I have a trackpad here, and it literally is the only thing that I do is zoom in and zoom out. That's the only reason I use it. It's such a waste of an Apple trackpad, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I was hoping that the answer was like, oh, I just do this and it's very simple.
No, but that's why I said, that's why I'm really grateful that Darren kind of shared his screen, because it reminded me that there really is no elegant way there are apps that, that the app that Alec uses all the time, I use it also. It's
Mouse.
Mouse Pro. Is that what it is? And you get this little, you get the little colored circle here. Pro Mouse. Yeah, thank you. Right.
That's
so
it.
I use this. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. It's honestly, it's kind of hit or miss for me on this guy, but it's a nice tool, but so there isn't really an elegant way to do that. 100%.
And I use another one that looks very similar to Pro Mouse. It's called Cursor Pro.
Yeah.
And it does, the only thing is you can't do it if you share Google Chrome. Like I would have to actually share my entire secondary display. So then that's how you can see the mouse. You can't see it if I'm only sharing a Google Chrome screen. Like I have to actually share the whole entire display. And then when I click function key, I can highlight, just what's within the circle.
Right.
It's, but then I do believe, so then when what I do is I use Command plus to zoom into a part, and then I zoom out. But it's not fluid. It's not smooth. I'm just making my screen bigger.
Well, that does the job. The only reason I don't do, and I should have said that, Tatiana, because that's the obvious way to zoom in and out. Because that's built into Mac OS. Well, it works really well if you have one monitor. As soon as you start connecting different monitors with different resolutions, it gets everything starts zooming in. It, for me at least, in my setup, it gets a little wonky. But yeah, cursor pro, mouse cursor, pro mouse,
Pro mouse,
whatever they're called.
Pro mouse,
Yeah,
and,
they all pretty much do
and
the same
Cursor
thing.
Pro.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are a few tools. But hey, Darren, really nice job, right? You're
Yeah,
learning
beautiful.
gradients and frames and sharing a screen. So inside that one scene, there's a lot. And you also used a web widget to
Yes.
share the web page versus shared screen, which is
Darren,
another.
do you
thing too.
navigate within the web widget? Do you actually turn
Yeah.
that little? You do.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. I have to remember to do that, but unfortunately, what happens is when you go from one scene to another, it doesn't remember that you clicked that
Oh my.
that button there. There's the slider to let you free scroll. So I have to remember to do it right before I move to that slide, or it could be I may be mistaken. It could be it doesn't save that. So when if I close the scene and then open again, it won't remember all the different pages. So I've had it happen where I'm trying to figure out what's going on and why it's not working. It's like, duh, you got to click the little button there, or slider. But yeah, it works fairly well.
Is there a hotkey or a Stream Deck button that you can attach to that toggle? Do you know?
I'm
I'm not sure. I'm not that savvy in terms of
Les.
the website.
Okay, catch you next time. Well, next time we'll start with you so we can fill us in what's going on with you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Sorry, go ahead, Darren.
No, I was saying I'll have to look into that. I haven't really mastered the action button multi-function aspect.
I have a solution for
you.
you, Darren.
Okay.
Sorry that I'm distracted, but I have a solution for you. So I'm going to turn on my Ecamm live demo to show you. However, you were just talking about resolution, David. Because where I have Ecamm right now, I have it on a really high resolution. It's going to look really small to everybody, just as an FYI. But let me go to Ecamm, start live demo mode. Okay, so I have added, let me just take it from the top. Let me just delete this. We'll start over. So I go to the little globe, right, in my overlays panel. I add a web widget. You pick the website. You can name it. I'll just do a timer. This is my friend Saeed's free timer. So to Saeed's timer, add the web widget. You can choose resolution and all that good stuff. Then we got to click this little thing here so that it's running in live mode. Now the next thing is going into the settings of the web widget, edit widget, and then this checkbox here, Darren, keep running. This will continue the widget even after hiding it or a scene change.
Look at that.
That will keep it going for you. And then you can also have it fill the entire frame, add a transition, and you can change the width options and all that. But that's how you can make it always.
Wait, keep. Wow, that's fascinating. Keep running will keep that toggle persistent?
Continue running the widget even after hiding it or a scene change. So it doesn't reset when you come back to it.
That's a game changer. Thank you.
Let's test it out, right?
Yeah,
so
let's try that.
Now
That's
it's
awesome.
So this web widget, we can do this because it's a timer one too. So 954, 953, 952. Let's just say now
But the issue is not the issue is not whether the timer will continue. The issue is whether the toggle is stuck, stays.
But we can tell because this web widget is a timer versus this is just a timer. So if the web widget were to stop, it would reset the time in this case. Because this is linking to a web page. This whole timer is a website. So if it reset, then the time would go back down to 10 minutes. So you'll see, like, I'll switch. So it's at 9:14 right now, right? I'll switch to a couple different scenes. Now let me go back to that one. And you can see it's still running at the appropriate time. So it's maintaining it active.
And the toggle hasn't gone back to.
And the toggle is blue.
That's awesome.
Yep. Thank you.
Sure thing, guys. Absolutely. Also, if you need a free timer, Let me
Yeah,
drop
that's
that
a
link
really
in the
cute
chat.
one. I love that.
And it's got a couple different options. So let me get you that correct link. And I'll just end live demo mode so that, but I'll get the link and put it in the chat. Let's see. Saeed's timers. Let me get the right link because that's just one that I had put in once for a web widget testing stuff in there.
Oh, that's a great find.
Yeah,
I
hey,
did
happy,
not know that.
happy we could help. Happy I could offer a solution there.
I still would love a toggle, what do you call it, a Stream Deck button to toggle that on or off. That would be really nice.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, that would be pretty cool. So let me find his timers and I'll put it in the chat as soon as I find it. But if anybody else wants to, anybody else
Yeah,
have a little
Dick or
something they
Sonny.
want to share?
Show off. Dick, what are you working on over there?
I'm just looking for all the technical possibilities, and I'm just starting with it. So what I have now in the background, I have made it. Is just myself, and I'm looking how to build up just such a page, a basic one with everything in it, so I can turn on, turn off, and then find, okay, if I want to make a new sheet, no, how do you call it? A scene?
Yep, build new scenes.
Yeah. That I can turn on, turn off, and find the layers where it has to be, etc.
Are you, you said put everything in so you can turn them on, turn off. Do you anticipate, or have you already, do you put all of your overlays into show in all scenes so that you have access to them everywhere, or are you careful about where you put, that
No,
put this?
I make just a template, so I have everything available. So I can then, if I make one scene, then I can say, okay, I will turn this on, that on, other things off. But even if I want, it's available even in this sheet that I can switch things on and off if I cannot find it, like you do. You have your demo mode, and then you say, okay, I want to show you this. Maybe you have to build it up first, but I can just in the sheet I can turn it on or turn it off. But I know that in the future my sheet will become have more options. So not every sheet does have the option if when I'm just starting now.
Right. That's
So
fantastic.
Do you have any other scenes that you use in your classes that you'd like to share with us?
I'm not using it in the classes at this moment.
Oh, okay.
So,
You're teaching in person?
No. We have we don't use Zoom. We have
that's
what
right.
I told you using
that's right.
Vitero, a German, but I can use it there. But I always use Keynote, and I'm looking for how can I bring in my keynotes more easily. So I know that you can in Keynote you can make your own screen. I've not the luxury at this moment of more screens. I'm only working with one screen, so I'm a lot of toggling.
Yes, and it makes it really challenging, for sure.
Oh yes, it is. Yes.
Do you happen to have something like a tablet or some other device that can be used as a second monitor?
No, I'm just moved in a new house, and I'm busy to build up my, let's say, studio or working room, and having more screens than available. So it's, Yeah, I'm an electronic guy, so I like the electronics. So I have some kind of flat screens available.
Yeah, actually, a TV would work too.
Yes, so I
So
have
funny.
some available.
I've dreamt of having just a huge TV kind of behind all this other garbage, but just where I could just put a big gallery, a big zoom gallery, so I could see everyone's faces nice and big. That's so funny.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Even though I have several screens, what right now is missing for me is where I right now have my iPad teleprompter set up. It's just too small when I have a lot of people in a meeting. It's too small to because that's where my controls would need to be to look up constantly. So it's just a constant decision making. Like, do I look here? Do I look there? I've given up like constantly trying to make eye contact. It's just, hey, when I'm talking directly or the exact lesson or key moments, I will make sure that I'm making eye contact like right now. But in general, like I see people looking around all over their screens and I'm like, it's okay because you know what they're doing, so it's not the end of the world. But ideally, I would like something much bigger right there so that I can see it more clearly for sure.
Yeah, for the rest is what kind of equipment. So the teleprompter, the stream deck, the etc. etc. Okay, what will I buy first in this row and what's needed?
I have something for you. Did you guys see the new release from Elgato?
I saw
The
I
new
saw
Stream
their new
Decks?
device. I did see it.
So
Okay.
Like the big new this was a pretty big offering that they have.
rack mountable Stream Decks with I think it's 32 keys, but like all this other functionality and a whole new app called Buttons that's going to I mean of course the device itself costs $900. So
Yeah, I think it's really seems like it's meant for big productions.
oh yeah, it's meant for a studio. And it's funny, go ahead, I'm sorry, Dick.
I'm also wondering that now we have your stream deck on the table. This must be in a rack, so you're stretching out to reach it. It's vertical mounted, maybe, or
Well, no, they have desks with racks built in that are kind of angled up, and that's where all these things usually sit. It's my first question about this was, and don't get me wrong, I live for my stream decks. I love them, but they're hunks of plastic. I mean, these are not built well. Like, they're just crappy plastic. And I'm happy to pay a couple $100 for crappy plastic that gets the job done, but $900. These, and from what I understand, that the chassis is metal, but the buttons are the same buttons. So, and it's so if you're looking something for your new studio, get yourself a
Maybe start with one of the other stream decks
maybe it's
first.
the 15 button.
No, I like the other ones. It's more handy, more close by. I don't have to stretch. Yeah, I did also video editing, and then I had such a jug shuttle, and that's easy, just sitting straight and not bending forward or whatever. It's
Absolutely. Yeah. How many of you have a stream deck? Anybody? Sunny, you have one? Okay. Yeah, me too.
I love
Me too.
my Stream Deck. I just don't use it like I need to. I know it's capable for
Really?
almost any other apps, right? It's for so much. I'm just getting back into trying to do stuff. But in the 2020, I was more adventurous, and then I started unplugging my teleprompter, my other lights and stuff, and I'm starting over. I wonder if there's a recommendation. If you are starting over, do you just take everything apart and then try to see what really works for you? Do you make a list of equipment? Any suggestions? I might be getting off topic. I apologize. You said,
No, that's
does
okay.
anybody have
okay.
a stream deck?
No, that's such a good question. It really is.
Really?
So here's what I'll offer. I can't. This isn't so much about starting over, but for me personally, there's something, this is going to sound so silly, cleansing about taking everything apart, wiping down, cleaning everything, and then just putting it back together and seeing if, did I have it right before, or, is this going to be better? I don't know. I actually just did that. I had, no, what was the reason for it? I don't even remember why, but I had to do something. And I said, you know what? I'm going to use this opportunity. Oh, I know what it was. I was putting wheels on my desk. Now, I didn't want to undo my whole desk, but I unplugged a ton of stuff, and I just wiped everything down and then replugged it. And in that process, I was able to make sure that, cables were labeled properly and things like that. And I actually got rid of a few things that I don't even know why they were here. So you may be onto something, Dr. Sunny.
We'll see.
I agree.
We'll see. I've got to do something so I can be functional. I need to declutter because I'm looking at monitors I still have yet to turn on that, are here. At least 2 monitors up here and then one behind that I could possibly use for something. So I think I have to watch a few videos because that's how I got started back early in 2020. I'd watched whoever had some great desk setups. And I just need to tell myself, what do I plan to do from this spot? I try to grade papers, Tatiana, from here. I probably shouldn't. I probably should go over there, but I'm lazy because I feel like sitting here. But this is probably better as a production desk.
Well, mine is a combo too. My
Really?
office space is everything. This is where I do the grading. This is where I do the teaching. This
do?
is where I do editing. This is where everything happens here. Sometimes you need a break and I can go somewhere else on my laptop. But what I want to add is, you need the essentials, and those are the ones you have set up. Your camera, your mic, your lights, your desk,
Okay.
Ecamm, the computer, all of the tools. And then I start adding layers from there. It's like, what do I really need? I mean, there's something to be said about a simple approach. I cannot live without a multiple monitor. I
want that.
But
I want to be
yeah.
able to do that, and I don't connect them right yet. I just got to
Yes,
find
for me-
somebody to help me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so, but my philosophy is like one thing at a time. Just add back one thing at a time that you need and want to use. That there will have a purpose that will make your teaching, your life easier, better, more engaging, more effective. Whatever that thing is.
Thank you. Yes.
Sure.
You know what else, Tatiana? I think that. Oh, did I just cut someone off? Dick, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were going to jump in. Or was that
Maybe
Darren?
Darren? Was it
Who did I
Darren?
cut off? No? Okay. I was just going to say that everything needs to have a purpose. Like everything has to have a job. And to me, the best job that technology can have is to get out of the way. When it becomes when whatever you're doing becomes about the buttons on your desk or the lights or the whatever it is, then you're kind of missing the point. These all need to be in service of something greater, which for us is teaching and educating and inspiring. And so making sure that everything that's on your desk has, and it's funny because as I look around, I mean, my desk has gone through a million different versions, and there are a couple things here that don't have a purpose, but by and large, everything has a place, everything has its job. And because of that, I don't have to do much, and it all kind of works. It's, yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah,
So
and what
yeah,
you
we
say,
need-
David, it's what you say. It's for me also thinking. I'm doing education to a classroom, but I'm also willing to give keynotes, etc. And then you need a different kind of stuff. And I'm an engineer in my previous life, and I did work with all kind of blocks. So modular thinking. If you need something, then you bring that in and have that available. And thinking that way, we say also minimize things. So the more you bring in, the more bandwidth it will cost, maybe, or that kind of stuff. So
That's a really good point.
yeah, minimalization is good.
But you know what? But building blocks is a really neat way. That's a very Ecamm-y way to think about it. Because when you look at the way Ecamm is built,
Yes.
right, you've got all
That's
these
why
different
Leah-
kind of building blocks that you can turn on or turn off. And if you don't need stuff, like I actually, for the first time since I started using Ecamm, I don't have the interview window open because I use Zoom at this point, and so I just it's turned off. I don't need that on my desktop. That's a great way of thinking about it, Dick.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm using Ecamm now because I'm learning it. What kind of stuff do I need, and what can I find, etc. And the troubles, on the way.
I wanted to share something today too, and this is one of my favorite visual things that I didn't start off using, but I always liked it when I saw it. And this is something I only started doing sometime this year, and that is, I've showed you guys before, but it is telestration, right? It's writing on screen, and I really love it, and I love doing it when I'm teaching because it means that I have one pen on the iPad when I'm writing. And because I use the app Video Pencil, I can see what everybody else is seeing. So I know where I'm writing, that I'm not writing in certain places, right? So telestration is one of my absolute favorite things. And I wanted to just, especially for those of you that are newer to Ecamm or refreshing, remember the hierarchy of things in Ecamm. So we have, first of all, profiles, and you can have multiple profiles or just one profile. It's like whatever works for you. The way I use profiles is I have one profile for my social media class. I have another profile for my public speaking class. And then if I do a particular talk, like when I talk about virtual stage fright, I have a profile for that because the graphics and everything will be very different. And then, so we have the profiles, and those can change. I do also want you to back up your profile. So I have mine backed up to a cloud folder that I can access from any laptop, anywhere that I am. I use that profile. Just got to make sure you back them up and keep them up to date. Because if you make a change and you don't export that, then you don't have the newest version or that version at all. So profiles is a great way to organize your content and then have it accessible. If you use a laptop somewhere you're having to travel, you can just grab it off your laptop and you have everything you need. Except just remember there's a few things that don't copy over in profiles, and they are audio and videos and sound effects. Do you know, David? Am I right about that? The things that don't copy over in a profile?
Well,
that have to be available on a local machine?
Yeah, videos are the only thing that I'm positive of, but it could be sound effects also. And that's because of the size of videos.
I mean, if it's an Ecamm enabled sound effect, it will be there on your laptop, but
Right.
I'll double check and post it in exactly. But then, so within Ecamm, then the order is we have our scenes, and the scenes to me are like the rooms of a house. Each scene equals a room, and then our overlays are the objects inside of those rooms. So the living room is the living room, but has a ton of stuff in it that's different than the stuff in the kitchen. So overlays are like all these little elements that we can put in. And Darren, when you were showing us your scene, you're showing us all the different overlays you had in there. There was your camera, then you put a frame on that. Then there was your screen share, actually your widget. Then you had the text frame and some other things that you added in there. So it's really important to remember that hierarchy. And we have so many people in the community that make free and paid scenes and overlays. Like a lot of you guys I know use Live Streaming Pros stuff, which Paul Dixon designs. Then Anna and Fulgens make graphics, scenes, overlays, and stuff that some of them they give away for free. Some of them they charge a few dollars for. And they also do custom design. And then Martin McKenna is another person in our community who is doing free. He's given away a ton of free scenes and overlays, and also has paid ones. So those are the three that I know within our community. Let me know if you ever come across more. But I know we have those three people. And the nice thing, I wanted to build out a scene with you the way that I used Telestration. I had it set, but I forgot once you're inside Ecamm for Zoom, you can't switch profiles. So I can't switch to my class profile to show this to you. So let's just say, so I have my scenes created to be a new empty scene. And I will start Ecamm Live demo mode. I'll bring you guys over here. Okay. So were you going to say something, David?
No, I just want, while you were setting this up, I just want to encourage you not to update your iPad to the newest operating system because Video Pencil is broken.
In the new iOS? Uh-oh.
Yeah. So don't update yet.
Okay. Thanks. Good warning. Because I couldn't, it was constantly crashing on my previous iPad. So now I've changed it to the newer iPad and I haven't had any problems. So if I start having problems again, I probably go nuts. So thank you for
Right.
that.
It's there's something wrong with where you can't see what you're drawing on. He'll fix it. I have no doubt.
But hopefully it'll fix it before I upgrade, which is
sorry.
very good. Thank you. Okay, so I'll make a new scene, a new empty scene. And if you guys notice this, by default, it puts in my camera overlay. It creates a new camera. So I actually like to change this in my settings, in my preferences. I will say settings, but in Ecamm it's called preferences. And when you go to video, you can change this default source mode to instead of camera to be blank. So I like to do that. So now when I make a new scene, a new empty scene, I start off with nothing. This is the way that I prefer it, right? Then I can say, okay, now I'm going to add things on here. So now I have a camera one, which, I can make bigger or smaller. And for video, for showing Telestration, I'll change this instead of BY, I'll make it tall. And I'll just plop myself over here. I like to use the little grid lines. And then now Video Pencil is on my iPad. So it comes in as a camera source. So I add a new camera overlay, but I'm going to change my video source to be Video Pencil. Okay, and then I could change. Actually, I want to make this wide. Now the thing with Video Pencil, and the reason it made it tall is because it always does whatever you did last. It remembers whatever you did previously. So now Video Pencil, in order for Video Pencil to work, it has to be full screen mode in here. Okay, so I'm just going to hide myself for a second here because I need to be able to see that it is definitely at 100%. And it looks like it is. I'll unhide my camera, bring myself back in here. And you see two instances of Video Pencil because I had my Video Pencil from before the way I had it set up. So now I've got a camera and I've got Video Pencil in here. Okay. So when I draw on here, like this is at the very basic level, this is how it happens. And then of course we can add the frames and make it nice. And a lot of times what I can do is add a frame in the background. Again, it remembers whatever you did last. So this frame was teeny tiny. Pop it back there. Switch it up. We'll give it no corner radius. It will just be, plain white. And of course, now it's in front of me, right? Because it's the order. It's on top in the layer. So I gotta just pop it behind me. And now when I change my pen color and then I can write on here and do little things. And you can also bring in some graphics. So if I open up, it can be any graphic that you have saved, or I use a lot of I use the graphics from Lucy Angelini, CNVS. So I could put this over here. And again, I have to change my order for that paper to be behind Video Pencil if I wanted to write on that. So testing. So this is one of my favorite things to do in class and to get cute with it with different graphics all that. So I just wanted to show you how it works. And then there are other ways of doing it without Video Pencil. I just prefer Video Pencil so much because I can see what I'm doing and exactly, and it works well. And he's also a member of the Ecamm community, so it's nice to be able to support someone from within Ecamm. But that's something that I absolutely love to use in class and demos and everything too, or even writing on top of things. If you want to highlight a specific thing, it's really cool.
So Tatiana, Video Pencil is not the Video Pencil because I have the app. So when you call Video Pencil, you're talking about the app, not the thing you write with, correct?
Right. This
Okay.
is Apple has Apple Pencil. I actually have a Logitech Crayon, but it works on my iPad to write with. So there's the pen tool, but then the software, the app that I use to do the
Yes.
telestration is Video Pencil.
Right. I have that. So I'm going to have to figure out how to actually use it, but I'm getting there. I watched his videos the other day, but I ended up watching something called Q Presenter. And I'm like, okay, this is another element. It looks like Ecamm Live, baby Ecamm Live. Let me get out of this. But I watched it for a while and it was kind of neat. It looked sort of like making scenes, but I've got Ecamm, so I'm cool.
QCam, yeah, QCam is his kind of if you get QCam, you're all this other stuff is bundled into it. That's kind of his what do you call it? His magnum opus. But yeah, all this stuff came first.
Okay. All right. Well, I will be practicing. I'll rewatch the video.
Yeah.
And I'm using a Wacom and not a tablet. Is there also a possibility to use that because I can write with that pen also? But
Yes.
Yeah, depending on the Wacom that you have, there's one version, I don't remember the name of it, where it's actually a screen. If yours is not a screen, then the only downside is that you can't see where you're drawing. So with the beauty of
but you're directly on. If I go to the left upper corner, then it's the left upper corner on my screen also. So it's
Correct. Correct, but I guess what I'm saying is that so if you build a scene like I just did, and where you can kind of guesstimate where you're going to be, and you have a big nice area in which to draw. But if you're telestrating over yourself, then it's nice to be able to see. Oh, here's where because right now it's not working for me, so I can't actually see where my head is. It would be nice to be able to see where you're drawing. So if you're telestrating over yourself, that's where this tool comes in really handy. But before Video Pencil was born, we were all still doing this, but we were doing it with an iPad with a green background, a Keynote. Yeah, we were all hacking our way into telestration.
Yeah, like it's different notes apps, but I just used Keynote, brought it in and changed the background to green, and then I applied the green screen effect in Ecamm, the green screen key to key it out, and then you just write over it. But the benefit of Video Pencil is being able to see what you're doing, and that was worth it to me to pay the extra amount for it. If you guys have time to stay on for a couple more minutes, I actually wanted to show you. I hired Fulgens. I told you Anna and Fulgens do the custom design, and Fulgens designed some scenes for me that are brand new. I have not yet tweaked them, and because you get the package you got, but I wanted to show them to you. I told you they offer services, so I did, and I just wanted to share with you what's coming. So this is my new scenes here. It's a kind of pop in here. I just want to make sure I wasn't muted in that scene, which I will be in the future, but I'm not right now. So, and these are my brand colors and everything. So I will add my logo and things, but we got this going. This is the one you've seen. This is just full cam, me, solo mode. Then this one has a few things. So you see the learn, inspire, teach in the corner, which is like my thing, learn, inspire, teach, something I say all the time. And then let me just unhide some of the branding elements. I don't know if I'll use the time one or if I'll put something else there, but it's there. This is one, and then this is a different one that gives me space to put in a topic or a title or something that I want to share. Then a different view here, then I'll have the option with different guests and things. I also have my trivia question mode here to be able to ask and highlight different things. And then this is when I have people in Zoom coming on and, being able to join. So let's just say I'm going to add you guys on here, do a little test if you don't mind. I'm going to add Darren and David and Sunny.
Oh, wait, sorry. I didn't see the permissions. There you go.
Thank you. Okay, so if so then I need to assign everybody to a placeholder. So David will be guest one. We're just going to go down the order here. Then Darren, you'll be guest two. And Sunny, you will be guest three. And then if I have more people, they come on here, right? So my students, I can bring up to 8 of them. You can bring up to 8 guests here. And then we also have the, let's see, this is active speaker. And how come I'm not showing up on this one? Oh, I hid active speaker. Sorry. Now it's active speaker was hidden, but now it's on. Okay. So this I might have to play with and see why it's not working.
Okay, so is Dick in detention or what?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Let me add camera.
I'm just watching.
I'm so sorry about that. There we go. Okay. So this is for, up to 4 people, and I can change. Let's see if I go to my camera effects, because, Dick's camera is in a different location. So I can go to his camera and I can zoom and pan him so that we can see a little more of him there. And we can make some camera adjustments, and I can also, rotate him, do some fun stuff in class. And now I'm not in this scene, which is why it's not showing up, because I'm currently the active speaker, but I'm not here. So whenever one of you talk, it will populate with the active speaker.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, 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 hello. Now, this is where, just so you know, this is where a new tool that just came out for Zoom ISO, and we're hoping it's going to come to Ecamm for Zoom, something called Unique Speaker. Because you see, the problem with this is that now I'm up above and I'm still in the gallery down below, but Unique Speaker will remove me from the gallery when I become the active speaker, and then put me back down. Yeah, so we're hopefully, you never know, that could come soon.
Which is pretty cool. I mean, I don't think it's like the end of the world that the person is there twice, like our mind registers it, but it would be nice to not to have that happen over here. So now here, all of us are here. Right, and we're in the scene here, and I would have to tweak. I guess it doesn't retain the properties from what I did previously. I have to change it in every scene, so that's why. Even though I changed Dick's settings before, it didn't come up. So it seems like I would have to do it again. Dick, you're muted. You're muted.
Oh, I was muted. Yes. I said, so everybody has to be in the middle for you. That should be easier.
If I think that's the default, but of course, depending on people's scenes and overlays and where they are, that may or may not happen. But in general, in Zoom, most people are probably going to be centered. So, but we have the option to tweak and modify as needed. So this is pretty fun. I'm gonna like.
But it's a lot of work if you put people in like me. I'm on the side. Then you have to move them all and have to do a lot of work before they are correct for this scene and the other scene. They also have to be back to the right position.
Yeah, and I'll show you here in, like, I can see everyone's camera preview. So if I restore you to your natural spot, right, I can see that you're not centered. I think it will be a problem for very few people. It's not the only one. And most people kind of know naturally when they see themselves off in a corner, they just kind of shift around until they can see themselves in the middle. So
I can put myself in the middle. That's yeah.
yeah, and then you can also move yourself around too. But I just want to show you hot off the press my new scenes. So I need to tweak them, modify them, change a couple things, put some logos, put some colors, some graphics, and all of that. But oh, I forgot to show you the comment scene. So here is a comment scene. Let's get a comment up from before. Darren said, yes, I did. So I will need to tweak this and adjust it so that it fits the formatting, because it looks like it overrode what was there in terms of the text. Right, so I have to work on that for the sizing and everything.
That's a really nice green color, though. Kind of blue
Thank
green
you.
there.
Yep.
That teal is really nice. You know what? What else is funny is the first. I think it was the first scene you showed with the circles that came in. Yeah, it's so funny because I was just working on building a course out, and I was looking for a transition between scenes, and so this is the one that I built with the circles
cool.
coming the same exact idea, which is just so funny.
That's really nice. Yeah, my primary color, my strongest color is the yellow, and then the second is the orange, and then the teal is like the pop when I need that contrast. So most of my stuff, Fulgens even described, he's like, it was like your vibes were like a morning show. And I was like, yeah, that's totally me. That's right. And then the teal brings in that contrast, so it's like the highlight color, and those colors work really well together. So I'm also just very happy to have made some decisions about color and all these fun things. So it'll be fun customizing them and building them out. But I thought it would be really cool if I could share them with you. So thanks for letting me share.
That was awesome. That was good stuff. You've made me now. So while you were doing that, I built a blackboard scene just like you had, because sometimes I love drawing over myself, just like this, but sometimes I
sometimes I
really want
don't.
it to be more clear. I want to be able
Yes.
to actually put a word in there or something. So
Yeah,
I
in my
Go ahead,
previous
sorry.
profile, I built one that I really like. That's I love the way it flows and the way that it looks, and then it really just what I'm writing resonates a lot. I mean, stands out a lot more.
yeah,
Cool.
it's nice. Nice.
What any thoughts or ideas of what you guys might like to talk about for October?
I just have to mention one thing. Last Sunday, I kicked off my Speak and Shine Youth Club. They loved cameras on, cameras off. I forget who talked about it, but I
Nice.
used it, and it was fun. It was fun because they were new. Several of them were new students, and we got to learn a little bit, whether it was their favorite pizza, or did they like pizza more than ice cream, or raise your hand if you ever went on a roller coaster or whatever. It was fun. So I have to give a shout out to that person who talked about camera on last
That
time.
is awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't
Fantastic.
remember.
I can't remember. Camera on, camera off. It was somebody.
I know
have to
we
look at
talked
the
about
name.
it, and I know that I use those activities in my class. I don't think I was the one who brought it up, but I do remember getting a link to something, and it could have been the link from here. So I'm just, since we're mentioning it, I'm just going to put in a nice link in the chat for, it's 100 great questions for turn your camera on off.
Yeah, I remember
I
that
could be
too. I
having
should
a
have looked at
memory
that.
issue, and I know somebody might have mentioned it last time, but just
Yeah.
popping it back in there for
Thanks.
reference.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yep. All right.
But yeah, that's really good. Yes.
But
and
in
it's
answer
so
to your
fun.
question for next week or next month, I'll listen to you all to see what you might think would be great. I'm learning. I'm going to be working on video pencil though. That's what I will be working on.
Okay, cool. So Sunny, video pencil for you next month. So next month you got to show us a scene
Okay.
with you using your telestration skills.
Yes. And why do
That
you
would be
call
cool.
it telestration, by the way? It's not a tool, right? That's just your
That's just
word.
the term for the action of
Mm-hmm.
writing on your screen.
Okay, because
That's what that's called.
I've heard of telestrator, and that was back in my TV production days, and I don't even remember what it was, but I remember that word, telestrator. Okay.
That's what this is. That when the sports guys are kind of going over and they're, you
Ah,
know,
yeah.
that's all telestration. That's what this is. Yeah.
There, yeah. And I worked for CBS Sports back
Oh
in the day.
wow.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. All of those
Okay,
guys.
so video pencil for you, Darren. How about for you? What are you going to work on this month?
I'm going to take a page from what we talked about earlier and moving in that direction already in terms of being a minimalist, but an efficient minimalist. I think
Mm,
for several months, I was falling in love with the bells and whistles and trying to do too much. So really stripping it down to the basics, but having purposeful changes in some graphics to the point where, it's almost like the traditional PowerPoint presentation where you can tell when someone learns about how to have the graphics fly in, fly out, zoom in, zoom out. Or if you're the Prezi, it's just like, oh my goodness gracious, I see the stars. So really being purposeful and adding things as an accent to complement, but something that doesn't distract for what I'm trying to do in that particular scene is one of my goals.
and you're so human. We all, to me, it's like a pendulum swinging, right? It swings one way and it's like, oh my gosh, so much cool stuff. I need this, I need this, I need this. And then you swing back the other way. And it's like, wait a minute. What's really me? What's really useful? What works for me? So I've gone through this process myself. I'm sure we could all relate to that, Darren. But I like the way you said it, purposeful and figuring out what's the reason to have this, like we were chatting about earlier. Okay, so look forward to hearing about your purposeful decisions. Let's see what's next for you. Dick, how about for you? Is there something this month that you're going to concentrate on?
Yeah, I have to do a course, so it's do an exam to be an examiner. So I'm busy with that the coming month.
Oh, okay. So outside of
Yes,
Ecamm, you've got some testing to
outside.
do.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yes,
hey, good
yes,
luck with
yes.
that.
Thank you, thank you.
Fingers crossed, everything works out and you pass with flying colors.
Are you teaching
Yes, yes.
are you
No, no,
teaching or
no, I have to do it myself.
oh
That
wow.
I had my university. From there, I do all kind of teaching. I'm also a core teacher for the Master of Business Engineering. But they said, okay, you need a paper for examining people knowing about the Bloom's taxonomy, etc. So that kind of stuff.
That's great.
Yeah, Bloom's taxonomy is pretty
Yes,
cool. I have a
it's
graphic
cool.
that
Yeah,
I show on that.
I've seen many graphics of it already, but yeah. And I was busy with this course already, so and suddenly I introduced in one of the modules or one of the courses I introduced a new book, and they were busy with a new version, so they asked, okay, we want to make also questions, etc., and please can you check if the questions are right, etc. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So I was just learning about the Bloom and said, okay, we will look for that directly.
Nice.
So it was nice. But I still have to do that exam to make some portfolio, to do some tests.
It also helps you remember what it's like to be a student.
And how the organization works. So what troubles do students have with organization?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Or in my case, procrastination.
Yeah.
I'm pretty organized. My issue is more procrastination.
No, it's more the organization. No, I did it before 2 years ago, but then I have to make all kinds of new modules to set up new blueprints about how they will go teaching, etc., etc. So I was busy. So I take up again, and then I have no teacher anymore. So I do it remote. And then normally I can have a teacher online, but yeah, that teacher is not available again. So they're looking, how can they support me?
Wow, that's
Yes,
that's
all kind of troubles.
frustrating.
Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
not for me. I'm just doing it, and I'm busy with these classes. But they use also videos on YouTube, and these videos are not available anymore. So I asked them for new material. Yes. So I have some troubles with that, but that's good. It's all kind of learning.
It is learning, keeps life interesting, and then also gives you lots of supporting material for your own classes because you're dealing
Yes,
with
correct.
challenges. And to me, it's like it's always something I can bring back and teach to my students, whatever that thing is. But David, I want to ask you: is there anything that you're working on this coming month?
There are a million things I'm working on. But I'm trying to think. I'm trying to pick one that I will actually work on because I have a lot of things that I should be working on. So I mean, I'm teaching this class now to these adult students who want to become clergy, and it's I'm enjoying it. It's good. I need to, like always, like with everything, I need to do better because that's what learning is all about. So I've had my second class with them, and yeah, so that's where my focus is now, is on that, and we have our big holidays, the Jewish New Year is coming up and all that stuff, and I'm TDing all the services here, and so all that kind of stuff. All good.
You're what the services?
TDing, technical directing. So I
Okay, TDing, got it.
Usually when you're the rabbi, you're actually the one like leading the services. They shove me in a closet and behind computer screens, and I make sure the cameras are switching and all that stuff.
They know you got the skills.
Yeah, so I don't mind it. It's okay. I'm very happy to be there.
Okay, and when you're teaching these adults, are you teaching virtually or in person?
No. It's all over Zoom.
All over Zoom. Okay,
Yeah.
so you are using Ecamm and all of your tools in that environment.
Using all of it, yeah. I'm there. There are, because the people that I'm teaching, they're not necessarily. I don't see most of them jumping into the Ecamm world. Their needs are different. And so I'm actually finding I've been using Ecamm for Zoom. I think I'm gonna not next week. I think I'm gonna use traditional Zoom because there are pieces of traditional Zoom that are not yet available in Ecamm for Zoom, like Zoom apps and things like that.
Yes, I noticed that as well as a limitation.
So I actually just pinged the twins to see if we may be able to get those in because I really need those. So we'll see.
I do too. And I think I shared with you guys before how my previous Zoom account was through the university and I had to purchase my own because I could not use Ecamm for Zoom. And now I'm using Ecamm for Zoom and I can't use the apps. I couldn't use the apps previously with my Rutgers account either. My university account blocked that too. But now I'm like, yay. I'm like, oh, I cannot use the apps. And the one app that I really want to use is one is an attendance-based one and the second is an agenda setting one. So which I think Zoom lacks, whereas a platform like Butter has the beautiful built-in agenda and is just so lovely. But I was like, I'm not going to pay for another platform right now. So
Tatiana, can you bring in a second source to do that as a regular Zoom attendee, or no, it would not allow?
You could, yeah.
No, you mean
could
like bring in a separate agenda?
No, like join from another computer on vanilla Zoom. or even from the same computer. You absolutely could. Yeah.
But I would not be able to bring in the app into that
Sure you
meeting
would.
unless I'm the host.
Well, or co-host.
A co-host
If you just
could.
if you co-hosted that other machine, then you could bring the app. Yeah. Then you're managing two machines. But
So
yeah,
I
you
would
could.
need a third Zoom account then, because my Rutgers Zoom account does not allow apps, period. So I would have to, and my personal one.
You actually could probably join from. I think I tested this when we first came out with this. I think you can join on the same account on Vanilla Zoom and Ecamm for Zoom. I think. I don't think they'll kick it. The only thing it may do is it may stop polling. That's the only thing that you may not be able to do in Zoom is polling. For some reason, polling is like really tightly linked to your account, and you can't be on twice for polling. But other than that, I think you can join the same meeting. So actually, let me just try it.
I was gonna
So-
say I can just try it again. I can try right now if you give me the.
Yeah, so I've got it here. So let's see, I'm logged in. I'm going to join this meeting. 39, and this will be David Paskin the second. And
In the
let me-
meantime, I have another question. I just was